What's going on, everybody? dallanrixxtv back with another video. So I'm just getting off work, and I just wanted to give my post-game analysis as far as the Lakers versus the Houston Rockets. I'm not surprised by anything. Once again, like I said, I thought the Lakers should have swept the Houston Rockets. I don't even understand why they got their first game. Possibly, maybe the Lakers wasn't that enthused, or that extra games of rest kind of took its toll on the Lakers in the first game. But like I said, the Rockets are who they are. Mike D'Antoni isn't a great defensive coach. Of course, the Rockets are showing a little bit more effort defensively, but it's just not in Mike D'Antoni's DNA to be a great defensive coach in terms of like drawing up plays and players being in spots and just a defensive minded coach. I don't understand why Mike D'Antoni is even in popular demand to come back, and Daryl Morey saying, "Oh, Mike D'Antoni needs to come back. He's a priority, top priority." Blah blah blah. You got the Indiana Pacers, asking for his services, and I'm like, man, he's not even that great of a coach. It's the same thing. You're getting the same result that you got in terms of with the Phoenix Suns. We seen Steve Nash get the MVPs and get to the Western Conference Finals and get to the finals. I mean, not the finals, but the Western Conference Finals, semifinals, and things like that. But Steve Nash couldn't get them to the next level, and that's most likely because Mike D'Antoni, he hasn't. It's more about defense. Defense wins championships at the end of the day, and he doesn't know how to get his guys to buy in defensively, or make the proper defensive adjustments, period. And that's what it comes down to. I felt like the Lakers played with their food tonight. To me, I thought the Lakers could have did this in the first game. The second game they came out, and you're not going to defeat the Lakers playing LeBron James brand of basketball. LeBron James struggles against teams that run sets, that run plays. Teams like, i.e. the San Antonio Spurs. Same thing with the Golden State Warriors. This is why the Golden State Warriors won in the finals versus LeBron James. Because they move the ball. They play team basketball. LeBron James is a one-on-one blacktop basketball player. So you're not going to defeat him at his game. The Rockets was trying to come down and play one-on-one. They're just swinging the ball. They're trying to find a shot. They're living and dying by the three. And if they can't get the three, that's it. It's a horror. They're not. I'm not gonna say they're a horrible team, but it's like when the light shines bright, the light shine the brightest. They always show up. They always prove to us who they are. They're great regular season players, but they're not. They're nothing better than that. James Harden is a dribble, and Kobe said it. You're not going to defeat a team by dribble, and just shoot. Russell Westbrook is who he said he is. He just wasn't given the name Russell Westbrook. He earned that name, Russell Westbrook. He makes horrible decisions. He just does. He makes horrible decisions. You're running around cheering and fired up in the first half. Why are you fired up? You got a whole 4 quarters to play. You got a whole second half to play. A whole second half. Why are you fired up? It's about controlled aggression. Like I said, he has the mentality and that dog, that killer instinct that Kobe and MJ had. He has that heart. But he doesn't know how to control it. It's not controlled aggression. He knows how to turn the ball over. He makes mental mistakes. He's not a great three-point shooter. So you can leave him out there and you will live with him taking that three. And Eric Gordon, he's not no superstar type of player. So if he's missing shots, if James Harden, they did a good job at trapping James Harden. You can go watch the video that I said. Go look at I think it was the Houston Rockets. It might have been the Houston Rockets video. Trap James Harden. I said this. Everything that I said, the Lakers could have did that from the jump, and they wouldn't even lost that first game. They should have swept this team. They got the referees in their favor. Like I said, you got people like, oh, well, they're going to try to push we already knew that. We already knew that it was going to be, everybody anticipating the Lakers facing the Los Angeles Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. Like, we already do that. I think it's deeper than just money. People think it's about ratings and things like that. And once they get there, once they push them both to the Western Conference Finals, then they're going to let them play, and it's just about money. It's deeper than that, but I'm not even going to get into that. That's another video for another time. But you're not going to defeat the Lakers playing LeBron James brand the basketball. But everybody has to be perfect on the Lakers. As I said, LeBron has to go for 30-something. They have to be dominant in order to win. You have to play your brand. You can't go to, Charles Barkley kept saying they need to go small and blah, blah, blah. No, the Lakers just need to be more aggressive. They just need to be more aggressive. LeBron has to be more aggressive. Anthony Davis, you got to get the ball in the paint. You got to dominate in the paint. That's your brand. You got to defeat them with size. Rondo showed up tonight, but you can't anticipate playoff Rondo. Once again, let's give a big shout outs to Rondo, for showing up tonight. Kyle Kuzma supposed to be this third star. I got criticized for saying Kyle Kuzma is a third star. I mean, he's not. I'm sorry. I got criticized for saying that Kyle Kuzma wasn't a third star, and he's probably going to get traded next year. But she's not showing up. And that's what the Lakers need, is a difference maker. But like I said, all they got to do is be aggressive and play their brand, and they're going to defeat teams like the Rockets. Now you see why Kevin Durant left. You see why Paul George left this man. I told you guys that. These people left because Russell Westbrook gets in his own way. James Harden is overrated. He's a very high scorer in a time where there's the no hand check rule. You can't be physical. All he does is score. James Harden, to me, reminds me of a glorified janitor, a great maintenance man that could play basketball. That's what he reminds me of. He reminds me of a maintenance man that couldn't make it to the NBA. I mean, he made it, but I'm saying like a maintenance man who was great at basketball, but he couldn't make it, but he somehow got a 10-day contract with the Lakers, and they were like, oh, man, especially in today's time, he's good, so we're going to let him keep playing, and we're going to give him a big contract because he's proven himself. And that, I mean, I guess you could take it as disrespect, but when it matters most, he's a great regular season player, but when the lights shine bright, he can't get over that hump. And they talk about bringing Mike D'Antoni back. For what? You need a different coach. It's time to, I would trade James Harden. If I'm the Rockets, I'm trading him, because this is what you're going to get. This is who he is. He's not going to develop into a player that's, he's going to get the assist. They're all many versions of LeBron James. They're all many versions of LeBron. Russell Westbrook and James Harden. It's just that LeBron James has gotten better at shooting the three. The game has evolved. LeBron James is bigger than them. He has more size, so he can go to the paint, and he could get he has the league behind him, so he could get these players that could hit shots when he want them to. He could make his stats look good. He could do all these things that you guys can't. He evolved his game from beyond the perimeter. So, like I said, you're not going to defeat the Lakers. Like I said, I got the Lakers going up, beating them 4-1. I don't see how they got the momentum on their side. They screwed this up. They're pretty much idiots. Like I said, the Lakers, LeBron James is pretty much being handed the championship this year. All he has to do is close the show. Pretty much. There's no Kevin Durant. There's no Kyrie Irving. You ain't got to worry about Milwaukee with Giannis. The Celtics, they're a great team, but I mean, they don't have no stars like that, no superstars. You look in the West, all you got to do is worry about the Clippers. So you pretty much being handed the championship this year. You just got to close the show. And the Lakers needed to get to this point in the Western Conference, because I felt as though you got to get to the Western Conference Finals in order to sell Anthony Davis and pitch him on stand, because you're in a win-win situation now. You lost to the Clippers, a great team with Paul George, and they have a great roster. You see what I'm saying? So you could tell Anthony Davis, man, look, we lost to them. They're a great team. Let's retool next year. We're going to trade Kyle Kuzma. Because like I said, Kyle Kuzma is a great complementary piece. He's a fourth option on the team. He probably see Brandon Ingram thriving and all these players thriving. He like, I could do the same thing. I could duplicate that. No, you can't. Great player, but it's just levels. And I never said Brandon Ingram was a horrible player. I just said that he could not develop into a great player under LeBron. LeBron needs to be with a player like Anthony Davis, who is established right now. But once again, like I said, Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis, you can sell him on stand next year. You're in a win-win situation because you could say, all right, well, we could retool next year and we could go get a third star and we could build around that and we can see the Clippers again next year or see whoever in the finals next, the Western Conference Finals next year, which I believe that Giannis is going to go to the Golden State Warriors. I think that Steph Curry just has the knack, he has that charisma that, when I seen him talking to Giannis and when I seen Giannis go online and say, I'm going to the Warriors next year and then claim that his page was hacked, I didn't buy that. I'm not buying it. Now, it's going to be hard for him. To me, it's going to be hard to turn down that 200 and some million. But, I mean, you got to choose between you win 2 rings. It goes based on the rings. You can leverage that ring. If you're Giannis, you go with the Golden State Warriors and team up with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. That's championships. You got a path to a championship. You could win 2 rings or win a ring. Now you can bargain for not just 200 million. You're gonna get big bread. But that's what it comes down to. But like I said, the Lakers, they gotta play perfect in order for them to win. I'm talking about the players around LeBron James. Now, if LeBron James has a horrible night and Anthony Davis has a horrible night, or one of them are playing better than the other, the rest of the team has to show up. If they don't, then we're going to have a bad night. And versus the Clippers, that's going to be tough. But I got the Lakers winning because I feel like it's just designed for the Lakers to come out on top, especially with all this stuff going on. But like I said, that's for it. And I don't want to be, you a conspiracy theorist and blah, 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 whatever. But, man, I'm tired. I just got off work. I did a long 8 hours. But like I said, the Lakers pretty much was playing with their food. That's why I didn't even watch the last 3 minutes of the game because I already knew what to expect. And I knew that the Lakers were going to win. It's more flow within the offense when LeBron James is not on the floor. But Rondo, everybody was like, they need to cut Rondo. And I told y'all, I said, man, Rondo is going to show up in the playoffs and he sees the court in 3D. Great player, man. He's a little bit older and you can't expect for him to do that every single night. So it's going to take a lot to beat the Clippers. Like I said, it's more flow within the offense when LeBron James was on the floor. But he was just dominant tonight. LeBron James was hitting a lot of big shots, hitting a lot of threes. He was complaining. I like the officiating. I'm going to end the video after this, but I like the officiating early. That's why I was so competitive. I think they ended the first half 64-61. I just like the officiating. They let the game be competitive. Stan Van Gundy, he's a better commentator than his brother. The only thing I like about his brother is when he says, bang, bang, when he do all that. Like, that's it. Other than that, I think that Stan Van Gundy is more honest. He's not biased. And I think he's just a great commentator. He's not going to just show favoritism. Because a lot tonight when LeBron James would argue a call, it's like they would overturn the call. And Stan Van Gundy was calling them out on it, But yeah, man, everybody has to play a perfect game in order for us to win. I don't know where Deion Waiters was at tonight. But Alex Caruso played decent. Kyle Kuzma, he's supposed to be this third star, but that's not who he is. And people got upset with me, but they ain't going to apologize. They ain't going to be like, man, you know what, I was wrong. I admit that I was wrong about Carmelo. Carmelo went out there and he balled. Carmelo definitely balled this year. I'll give him that. Even though I still think Ray Allen could come back and do what Carmelo did if he get a lot of shots, if he get to take a lot of those shots. Carmelo got the luxury of being able to be on an overrated duo with Damian Lillard and CJ McCullough and being able to take, more shots. Trevor Ariza was out. So, just imagine Ray Allen coming out of retirement and asking him to take about 15, 20 shots. Come on, man. That's in this day and age. Come on, man. But anyway, like I said, the Lakers played well. I got them winning. Uh, going 4-1. They're going to play the Clippers. I think the Clippers are going to go 4-2 with the Nuggets. And we'll just see how the rest of this plays out. I got the Celtics winning against the Toronto Raptors. Going to be the Celtics and the Miami Heat. And I'll get my prediction after that. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all get in that comment box. If you want to donate, hit up my Cash App, dallanrixxtv. I'm out.